Welcome back to the ONJ YouTube channel. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
This is post Raptors Grizzlies. Um, Post
Raptors
Raptors
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Raptors get the dub in their home court, 117-104. They won 13. Is without this is without job plan for the Grizzlies. This is without, of course, Scottie Pippen being out with I forgot what his injury was. So Josh serving a 1 game suspension. Scottie Pippen with his injury. Zach Edey injured. Um, Anybody else I'm missing? You think? Yeah, I think.
Jacob Poto didn't play for the Raptors.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not sure what
Jakob
his
Poeltl.
injury
He
is,
didn't
but
play for the Raptors. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that was all for the Raptors too. So yeah, I mean, solid game here and there. I mean, the Raptors pretty much had control most of the game. Grizzlies did attempt to make a run, towards the fourth quarter, um, towards like the end of the fourth quarter. But I mean, the Raptors they did a good job of keeping their lead. I think the home court probably added to that as well. The fans, getting into it. Just your thoughts. Or let's do something different though. Like, who's your player of the game? Let's start there.
my player of the game, um, probably a toss-up between RJ and Ingram. Both of
Okay,
them were getting buckets for the Raptors.
for sure.
Uh, just doing what they do best. I know RJ had a crazy putback dunk earlier
Yes,
on in the game. It was
disgusting.
sick. That's definitely a
How
highlight
do you
reel
not
that
box him out?
we've seen. We're gonna keep seeing that highlight reel for the rest of the season. So I
Not,
hope he's ready.
what? Is that wait, are you I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Are you saying that because there won't be any greater highlights, or are you saying that just it was that nasty?
It was that nasty. I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
I
all
think it's very rare we get like dunks, put back dunks like that. And I think
right.
once we do get it, every time they hype up a player, they put that put back dunk in every video. So
Right. I got you. I got you. Yeah, that was one of them ones though. No, it was nasty for sure. No, it was. Mine's I mean, I may go a different route. CMB. Colin Murray Boyles.
yeah,
Uh he's looking like a new age Draymond, if I'm keeping it a buck. Um I want to get his exact height. I don't want to say, wow, what? No way. Does he look taller than 6'7"?
yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, I looked up his height once the game ended too,
Yeah.
and I was just a surprise.
6'7". That is wild. So he was basically they center today, essentially.
Yeah,
Um, and it's interesting, right? Because it's like it's so many different colleges in the United States that compete, in the NCAA, whether it's D1, D2, D3, right? I mean, what you had Cedric Coward from the Grizzlies, he came from D3, right? But where my point that I'm going with is like going into the draft, I didn't really like watch too many South Carolina games. So like for me, it's like if you're not really tapped into like all these different colleges and all the different games that go on throughout a college basketball season, you may miss some prospects, right? So he was one like I didn't know about. Like the draft comes, um, Raptors draft them at 9. I'm like, who is this, right? Like you hear the before him, right? You hear the Hooper Flag, you know him, Con Knipple, you know him, Trey Johnson, you know him, Ace Bailey, you know him, Dylan Harper, you know him. But then you get to draft position 9, and you're like, Colin Murray Boyles from South Carolina University. And it's like, who's that? And I think there was and one of the draft day reports, I think they got it right. They were like, compare them to Draymond Green. And then if you watch them today, like you could see the glimpses of that. Like he has the IQ. He plays beyond his years. Like RJ even said it in his post game interview after his great game. Like, like Colin, he doesn't play like a rookie, and he doesn't. He has the IQ and he has the toughness, you know what I mean, to compete with bigger dudes and kind of be that small ball 5. Once he gets a jump shot, bro, Because I mean, what was he today? He did not shoot the ball good at all today. I don't think he hit a three. I don't think he hit a single. Yeah, he didn't. He was 0 for yeah, 0 for 3. Um, once he gets a jump shot, yeah, look out. The Raptors, I think they hit with him for sure. They hit on that pick.
Yeah, outside that was kind of my other one I was going to mention. So I'm kind of happy you mentioned it because all throughout the game I was like, there's no way he's a rookie. Like just the IQ and the right plays that he was making, he didn't look like a rookie. Like he was doing everything correct, and I was very surprised with it. Um,
Facts.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Toronto they look really good. Oh, you about to say something?
No, you got it.
Oh, yeah, I think yeah, Toronto looked really good. Especially defensively. It was good seeing Brandon Ingram compete on the defensive end as well. I thought he had some possessions where he used his length really well. Pause, but and I think like he was really a problem on the defensive end when when he put in that effort. Now it seemed like were they was it is it me or were they playing full court? Like did coach have them playing full court press on the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
Is that like is that like a I don't know. I mean, I'm used to that in college, but like in the NBA, I don't know. And I mean, I'm not sure if I see that a lot in the NBA, but they were like pressing. Like even Brandon Ingram was like picking up full court at moments. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was that is that like something you see a lot?
Hey man, and it's you got to mix it up every now and then. Come on, you
I
can't.
guess.
The Raptors were what were they before this game? Like two and three, something like that.
Yeah.
So you gotta switch it up.
Yeah,
So,
they were 2-4 before the game, so they get this win. They go up to 3-4. Much needed win. I mean these games you have to win, right? I mean, Jaw's out. Um, Zach Edey's out. Um, uh, Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. You have to win these type of games. And then for Memphis, I mean, I just think they just didn't have no offensive power. They didn't have no offensive firepower. Uh Jaren Jackson, he did his thing. He had 20 points, 9 rebounds. But in these type of games, like your team's gonna especially with the production that Ja brings and that not being available, like you've got to take your game to a whole nother level. So I mean, 20 points and 9 is good. If Ja's there, then that's great. You know what I mean? That's great support for him. But Ja's not there. Who's gonna bring those Jaw stats? You know what I mean? And there wasn't really nobody available. Latavius Caldwell Pope, he didn't really have the best shooting night, 3 for 13 from the field. They had Cam Spencer running the point, which was interesting. It was interesting to see. Uh, I guess that just shows you the lack of depth. Without Scotty and Ja, you missing your top two PGs. That's tough to overcome. And I mean, I guess you didn't really have nobody else. There was a guy with I think maybe that's who it was, Javon Small. He played a couple minutes, but I don't think he really got that much time out there. So Cam Spencer was really the full time PG, and I mean, I think he did the best he could. But yeah, I don't know if that's his ideal position. But Jock Londale though, he was shooting it though. He was shooting that rock for sure.
so Jaw suspended this game, and the main reason Jaw suspended was because of his conduct and the comments he said about the team. Where he had made a comment. I think the reporter asked him, "How do you feel about the game and what you could have done better?" And he said, "According to the coaching staff, we would have done better if I wasn't here." So this was the coaching staff's moment to prove themselves. If this alleged comment was true,
Yeah.
and they feel like maybe without Ja they're better,
Yeah.
they did a terrible job at proving their point in this game. They did an awful job because they were not better without Ja.
No.
A lot of times it looks they were moving the ball around good, but at the same
Right.
time I think the ball was moving around good because they didn't know who's gonna take the shot, who's gonna be
Right.
the one guy that's gonna be able to take over. I don't think they have that without Ja. So you take Ja out, where's your offense? You don't have that one solid guy where you think, all right, we're kind of struggling. We've been struggling to a bit. We're giving the ball to this dude and he's going to get us buckets. That's not there.
That's why you give him the big bucks. That's why you give him the big bucks to, you know, perform big plays, big bucks, big plays. I mean, I thought maybe even Cedric Coward might be used a little bit more, right? People having him, he's in the rookie of the year race, with VJ Edgecombe and Dylan Harper and those guys. I mean, he only had 9 shots and he was pretty efficient. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So he kind of stuffed the stat sheet a bit. I don't know. I thought maybe coach would have, utilized him a little bit more, but I mean, it was just tough. Like you just said, it's tough not having that production, not having Ja. So I'm curious, next game, like how they come back after this, like after this debacle and him saying, ask the coaching staff, host that interview, like you said, he's suspended for a game. How do you come back from that? You know what I mean? Like next game, like I guess this is where the professional basket, like the professional portion of your title, professional basketball player. I guess that's where that kicks in, just being a professional and coming to work. The next game when they play Detroit tomorrow, they play Detroit tomorrow actually. So, um, yeah, that'll be. I'm sure a lot of people will be watching that just to see, how he responds, from that suspension.
So with that, I remember, so their previous coach,
Hmm.
Taylor Jenkins got fired, right? He was fired. Obviously, they hired the coaching staff they have now. And
Right.
when he did get fired, I think one of the things that people were saying was that that one season, they were kind of mixing it up and changing the offense a little bit. And I think that kind of caused friction in the locker room, made him lose the locker room. And that's why he ended up getting fired.
Okay.
So two big questions kind of came to my mind. If if he switched the offense, why did he switch the offense?
Mm.
Why was there so many changes in the Grizzlies organization from going to this team that years ago was the top 2 seed in the West to now being where they're at now, where they're struggling, they're firing their coach, they got a new coach, and we're just like 6 games into the season, and your main star's already criticizing your brand new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like what I would really like to know what's going on inside of there that just made all these domino effects just like come knocking down to where the Grizzlies are. Because honestly, a few years ago they had such a bright future, with
Right.
Ja second in the West, and now it's like now everything's so uncertain with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Something definitely happened. There was definitely a change somewhere, but they've gotta it's gotta get together. And you're right, that was a weird firing just because I mean, after all the success that Coach Jenkins has had, you would think that, he would at least get till the end of the season to like, get it together or something. But I don't know. It's questionable for sure. But yeah, I'm curious to see like how he comes back though. I want to see like how that and those changes that you're talking about, like how if I mean if they help Ja, I mean he didn't have the best game that last game. He shot 3 of 14 from the field, so he didn't really have the best. He didn't really have that good of a game, but I don't know. This your star player. It's like you gotta live with him, and you gotta live with him in the wins as you live with him in the losses as well. So it's like that's gonna be tough. It's tough to see like how they respond Monday for sure.
And then I think another thing I look back to was when they traded Steven Adams away, because I think Steven Adams was a big part of that team
For
getting
sure.
to that second seed, and then they traded him away. And I think they've had that gap at center for a minute, which you could see in this game. I think this was one of the games where both these are both teams that are kind of lacking in the
Hmm.
center rebounding department.
Yeah.
Um, so now this was truly a game of who's going to step up, and the Raptors did. The Raptors
Yeah.
stepped up on that department. I think Scotty Barnes had like 12 rebounds.
Hmm.
But just the Grizzlies just they couldn't pull through.
Yeah, I mean, they yeah, I think they could definitely use Scotty Barnes today, especially with, the Raptors front court being so small without Poto as well. But yeah, the Raptors though, they were very active on defense. I mean, I think they looked really good when they were just running and when they turned their defense into offense. You get a stop and you could instantly go, and you have the personnel to do so, right? Like you have a Scotty Barnes who can get the rebound and then just push the ball up the floor, and then you've got guys that can run. RJ can run, quickly can run. Brandon Ingram could run. Even Murray Bulls for him to be 6'7" and that kind of that big, like he can run as well. So I mean there's definitely some potential with that. And I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't get too like excited because it was the Grizzlies and they were missing a lot of personnel, but like I was trying to figure out like how are they under 500 with the squad that they have as well. Like I feel like they could if they just turn that defense into offense. Like I think they could do some damage for sure. Yeah.
And I had that same exact question that you just asked. How are they under 500 at this game?
Right.
And that's kind of what made me think back to this rebounding issue that I mentioned.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
they're kind of facing the Grizzlies who have a rebounding issue.
Right.
So I was thinking maybe facing other teams who have like bigger centers who are more up on the boards. Maybe that's why
Mhm.
they probably lost some of these games. That's the only thing I could think because they had the personnel to go out there and
Yeah,
shoot and play defense. So
for sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was trying to figure out. But I mean, if they lock in on the defensive end and and just play around and with each other, I think they could do some damage. And I think quickly is a good guard to pair with somebody like Scotty. Like I think they've done a good job. I think they built a good team around Scotty actually. Like that was kind of the thing I was asking for last season. Like when we were talking about the Raptors last season, like when it ended, like I hope they commit to Scotty. They gave him the extension. So like I hope they commit to build like some pieces around him. And that's what they have essentially. They put some scorers around him and some guys that can shoot the ball. RJ, he's a scorer, but he's also a solid spot up shooter, right? Quickly can shoot the ball, right? Bi, I would you're not banking on his 3-point shooting, but he's a guy that can definitely score and put the ball in the basket. So those are the type of guys you want to put around Scotty. And then you also have kind of I don't want to call it like CMB like a he's not Scotty, but like they kind of I don't know, like they're both utility players in the sense like you kind of pair somebody that can like defensively kind of match up with Scotty in the front court as well. So I mean that'll be good. But no, I mean Colin Murray Boyles and Scotty like they looked really good, and I mean they're long, like they're like shooting guard to center today, like they're wingspan, like they're long pause, but like like they're long. You know what I mean? From BI to Barrett, like to Scotty to CMB, like they've got length, pause. But like they they I'm sorry. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. But yeah, like they I think they could be definitely stop. They could now the only problem is maybe if they run into actual bigs. I think that'll be the only problem. And and I don't know. But you know what makes me think about it too, right? How they look today. Now, yes, it was Memphis, right? But you don't really see Jakob Podol as like a guy that could like run for real, right? You know what I mean? Like run with this type of personnel. Now, I haven't been watching the Raptors game, so I'm not really like, but I'm just going off of what I saw today. Like what I saw today is when they're able to get stops and they're able to turn that stop into quick points. Scotty gets the rebound, Colin Murray Boyles gets the rebound. Like these are guys, like they're not only bigs, but they can play make as well. So they're able to push the ball up the floor. Now with Podol on the floor, can you run at that rate and score that quick? Like I'm curious. Like I don't know. Because I haven't really been tapped into their games like that, so I'm not really too sure.
But the good thing with that is that I feel like when he comes back, now that just gives them the extra layer. If you have to play him because the other team has a big that you just can't go up against, you throw
Right.
him in there. If you want to do that run and gun type of offense, you make a stop and then you run and get those points. That's when you take him out and then you add the person that he got today. So I think they have some layers to this thing.
Right. And I mean, and like you said, to add to your point, like they played they got beat by 18 by the Rockets. Now Rockets, they have Sengun, right? They have um like you said, Steven
Capella,
Adams, right?
Steven Adams.
Capella. So they have bigs, and you know what I mean? Steven Adams had a double-double that game, 12 points, 12 rebounds, right? Now I didn't watch the game, but judging by what we saw today, that's what like I said earlier before I even looked that up, like could see them having a problem with actual bigs because they're like bigs that know how to use their size. You know what I mean? Like I could see them having problems with those type of bigs. That may be the only thing. And Poto didn't play that game either. So they could have been missing that presence, and I don't even know. And Poto might be their only like big, like their only legit big on the roster, actually, which is kind of concerning as well. So yeah.
It's not fair, man. You got the
Yeah,
Rockets have three bigs, and then you have other
right,
teams here who could barely have one. Like,
right. So that might be the only. I mean, they look good today, against the Grizz, but that might be the only thing that could hold them back, hold this team back is just the actual big that can like actually like when you play those like when you have teams like you just named three bigs off the Rockets like so when you play those teams when you play Wemby's like when you play Embiid, when you play Joker, like you've got to have somebody who can match up with those guys. Like Colin Murray's bro, he'll do what he can, but I don't know if like as a rookie, you can't expect him to lock down a big. You know what I mean? Maybe his second year, like he'll get better, but yeah, as of right now, yeah, you're gonna need another big for sure. But
yeah,
they look good though.
let's try to not do the PJ Tucker playing center on the Rockets thing again. Go out there and get yourself a center.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Nah, but and I think I like and that was questionable by quickly, with the Raptors and it's just such as and his big contract. But I like his match with Scotty just because and I think the Raptors have done a great job of building a team around him because like quickly, I don't think he's not somebody that needs the ball 100%, right? Like he doesn't need to have the ball. Like he could play off ball, right? And you could let Scotty play make, right? So I think having a point guard like that who can do either, right? Like he can run the team if you need him to, and and get others involved, and then also play off ball and be ready to shoot if you need him to. So I think having a point guard like that I think is super valuable. And I like Sheehy as well. I don't know if you saw him a little bit today, but like I think he's gonna be a really good pro for sure. Like I mean he's from Houston, so I mean Houston, they got some dogs, but no, he's gonna be good for sure.
Yeah, I like that. They got a well structured team, I think.
Yeah, no, they do. They've got some guys. What I know for sure they practice this that pocket pass. Like they've got
Mm.
that down pat. Like they must practice that like every day, and that must be like their warm up. Because every guard I've seen Bi do it. I saw Bi do it. I saw I think I saw Scotty do it. Yes, yeah, I think I saw Scotty or Bi, one of them. I saw Quickly do it. Saw she do it. I'm sure there was other players that do it, but like maybe even RJ might have did that. I don't know. But it seemed like all of them were real comfortable with making that pocket pass, which is probably one of the more tougher passes to make. And I thought maybe Memphis would have made that adjustment because it seemed like because if I kept seeing it, then I know y'all are seeing it on the sideline. But I mean, maybe that's just a tough adjustment to make in the moment. But they were in that pick and roll, like they were that pass. I mean, they all the guards were all the pick and roll ball handlers were making that pass effortlessly. So that's got to be something that they practice like a lot for sure. But I mean, Raptors look good though. They look solid.
Yeah, I agree. Good call out on that pass because I
Yeah.
did see that one a few times during the game.
Like
I was like, wow.
it's just like just getting off and then boom, and then you leading the big right to the basket. Like it was just perfect. It was well executed. Like there's no way they don't practice that like every they don't practice that a lot. Like they have to. That has to be something because it seemed because everybody was doing it. Like everybody was comfortable making that pass. So shout out to the coaches. If that is something that they emphasize, I mean, shout out to them because that was it showed for sure. I mean, I saw it. So it was good to see. But I mean, you got anything else? Anything else you noticed about the game?
Nope, I think we covered pretty much everything.
Um, I mean, just to throw it out there, should Gigi Jackson have gotten some playing time? I mean,
I've
I don't,
been I've been really concerned on why he hasn't been playing.
I don't know
Um,
either.
I was gonna look up if maybe he had an injury, but I doubt he has an injury. So I
I
don't
don't
know
think it.
why he had a good season and now he's getting coach decided not to play him for some reason.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is a game where you pretty much, I don't know, you just try to see what sticks, you know. So why not just, give him a chance to see, what he can do. But
I feel there's
I
so
guess
many question marks for the
yeah, it's a
Grizzlies at this
lot.
point.
It's a lot. Especially this early in the season, beefing not I don't want to say beefing, but like
I
this
mean,
type of situation happening with your star player who's kind of like been I guess you could essentially say he's been carrying the franchise, essentially. And then this your first season as a like full-time head coach, and then something like this comes out, reports like this comes out, and you have to suspend them for a game. Like that's not the way you want to start the season for sure. I doubt it. I doubt that was on his bingo card. But yeah, we'll see if the Raptors could continue this and maybe either trade for a big or see how they look when Poto gets back. And we'll see how Ja comes back Monday. See how he reacts to suspension and see if he can you know bring them to that W column for sure.
yep, I agree. Thank you guys
Uh,
for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, download,
all that
um,
all that good
share
stuff.
with your friends, your
Everything,
family,
everything,
your friends, uncles, mom's neighbor,
all of them
and their friends as well.
for sure. See you on the next video.
We out.
We out.